So as we were machining, and we would make 2 or 3 different parts and then solder them together or screw them together, and knowing what we can do with a CNC, I always thought, why do it this way? Why not just make them out of one piece and you have a much better part, more accurate, make it quicker and cheaper. Starting our own company when Miller Thermal closed, it was pretty scary, but we knew the product so well, and after machining all those parts for 15 years and doing most of the design work on them, it kind of fell into place, and I had some really good partners to jump in with, and I was very fortunate to know a lot of good people, very intelligent people that helped us along the way. Back in my early days in 1985 as a machinist at Miller Thermal, I was always pretty mechanical, but machining these parts enabled me to understand where they were going and how to improve things and why we made them and why they worked, and the tolerances and the O-rings and stuff. So it just kind of transitioned into designing parts and doing a lot of non-standard products for customers. I was out interviewing, and it became obvious that wasn't the route I wanted to take. So I knew some pretty good people in the industry, and we decided to start Thermach. We could make the parts, we knew them intimately. Coming up with the resources to even do this was quite challenging. I would work the second shift, trying to save $5,000 to get this off the ground. It was pretty scary. So one of the goals when we started Thermach was we saw the need for a company to develop parts and supply equipment that wasn't a competitor to our customers, because most of the big players in the industry all have spray shops. I can see why it makes sense, but they're also your direct competitor. So Thermach took an active role in deciding we weren't going to do that. One of the big setbacks that we had was when we were going to start Thermach. We had an agreement with a local company to lease 5,000 square feet, and a month before we were going to start, they had a change of direction and had allocated that space. So we were scrambling to find a spot, and we ended up finding an open location in Medina that was sand with one light bulb in the middle of it. So we went in and we poured concrete, and we ran the wiring and the plumbing. And so when we started Thermach, it really helped working for a larger company previously. It helped us with HR, bill of materials routings, purchasing, insurances. When we first started, we had ideas to go arc spray and plasma and HVUF because we knew them really well. We had some designs in mind, but coming up and bringing those to an actual product was a really good effort. Probably the first 6 months I could hardly lift my arm from doing drawing work, and then machining the parts and making the fixtures and all that came into play. We were able to hire some really good people that had good knowledge in the industry. Most of them were former co-workers. We got along well. We pretty much hit the ground running with good people. So the industry has changed to better controls, data acquisition, sensing, something that makes your coatings more consistent and repeatable. Back when we started Thermach, the spray operators were much more involved in coatings at businesses. The industry seems to be changing to have smarter equipment so that people are just pushing the start button on the process, and data acquisition and all the controls are in place to ensure that the coatings are good. Recently, in the last couple of years, forced Thermach to come up with their higher end plasma systems and better controls and all your sensors for data acquisition need to be in place. That forced us to go to the next step. Thermal spray keeps advancing in technologies. Nanomaterials are coming into play. There's a lot of advancements in thermal spray, and who knows where it's going to end up. So when Thermach initially started, we focused pretty much on supplying equipment only and parts and consumables. Our recent direction change has been to supply turnkey custom solutions for customers that enables them to supply successful coating operations. One of the areas I'm pretty proud of is what Thermach has been able to provide in terms of careers for people. This whole business is about people, and I'm pretty proud of who we work with and what we provided as a business for them. We want to create a culture here that makes people feel valued, respected. We treat people like we want to be treated, and we also do that with our customers as well. We do what we say. We treat people with respect. It's a good place. Oh, good workforce, snowmobiling, ice fishing, all the things my wife hates.